Hello and welcome to the Blue Monday podcast. This is a 3 times weekly show looking into the exciting happenings of Ipswich Town Football Club, available on video and podcast. My name is Benjamin Blue and I'll be here each and every Monday for this, the flagship show for a sometimes irreverent, always informative hour or more of football conversation. Make your Monday a Blue Monday, it says on my script. Make your Monday a Blue Monday, a Blue Monday. So show that to the camera. No, you won't be able to read it, will they? There we go. David Diamond, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Ben.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, how are you? Still on holiday, I suppose. Both you guys,
I took a sleeping pill last night. Stat will be with me on this. I slept for 9 hours, but the previous night I didn't have much sleep. And welcome back from this week in ITFC history for his first appearance in a while on the flagship show, the Renegade Statman.
Happy New Year, Ben.
Sing Happy New Year by Abbey. You know, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Stat will do it in the style of Morrissey. Happy New Year. Happy. I'm so happy. We'll have a happy New Year. It's so happy. Jangly, jangly guitar. Sorry, Stat. How are you?
I'm very well. Yourself?
Ben gives a David Bowie Happy New Year. Come on. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
If only I was good at impressions.
Oh, I've heard all about that. We'll do some George Burley stuff later. Guys, I met George Burley yesterday.
How was he?
This encounter, I'm walking round to Portman Road. I catch him, catch his eye, hold my hand out. We're both walking. He shakes my hand. I say, Mr. Burley, thank you for everything, and just walked on. I'm not lying. This is not going to make Didn't Happen of the Year awards.
Disturbing.
That did happen. Disturbing. What is not disturbing is that the Renegade Statman has been doing one of his polls, Dave.
Oh, yeah?
That he's known for. Well, you take over, Stat. What did you get up to last week that we're going to do first on my running order?
So, ran a poll for some categories for 2018. So from the 1st of January, but I will, from the 1st of January 2018 to the 31st of December 2018, if people would understand what 2018 means. And there were 5 categories, and then there was a little prediction thing at the end.
Okay.
So the player of the year.
What should we do, Stat? Should me and Dave stay at ours, or should we try and guess what the winner's going to be?
Oh, guess, I think.
Okay.
Oh, guess would be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
right, Dave will do the first one then, Stat.
Player of 2018.
Oh, Christ. Oh, good God. I'd say Bart on the strength of what he did last season, but...
Well, it was a landslide win for...
Waghorn, surely.
Martin Waghorn.
Surely.
I only said that because Ben, yeah.
He was leaving an open goal. So Waghorn, player of the year, a player that left in the first week of August?
Yeah.
He did play a game under Hurst, did he?
And also has been outscored by Freddie Sears in 2018.
He started on Saturday, though, but used judiciously by Mr. Lampard with Mr. Marriott, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Lawrence, and Mr. Mount all around.
Oh, well, what a bevy of... Can you have a bevy of riches? A bevy of riches, I'm going to say.
I think you can have a bevy of champagne.
Come on then, Ben. You're gonna guess the next one.
Okay.
So this is the Unsung Hero Award.
When did Dick Parker die? Was that in 2017?
I hope he did, because he probably would deserve to win that award.
Yeah, I think it was 2017 before the... When did Callum Connolly hold his armband up? Forest, was it, or Reading?
It was before last year.
Okay,
yeah,
so I would have said Dick Parker. Wouldn't be Kevin Beattie.
Brian Klug.
He got a few votes, but he didn't win.
Freddie Sears? Cole Skews?
Freddie Sears came in second, and he was edged out by Cole Skews.
You having that, Dave?
Am I having that? Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Notable mentions for Malcolm Webster.
Right, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Our previous manager.
Okay. Now, since you've been on, I've lifted the ban. You can say the words Mick McCarthy anymore.
No, I'm fine with that. And also, the long-suffering fans got a few votes.
Oh, really? Okay.
So here we go, Dave. Goal of 2018.
It was on Saturday, wasn't it? That was New Year's Day, wasn't it?
Burson Salino against Leeds, surely.
Yep. That was the winner. Harrison's versus Sheffield United ranked
What
highly.
about Waghorn's free kick against Sheffield Wednesday?
Got a few votes, but Selena won it by a mile.
It was.
Best moment of 2018, Ben.
I did a YouTube video on this, and mine was Freddie Sears scoring the third goal at Reading when the whole world seemed to just lift, and we thought everything's amazing. So that would be mine. But I think what will win? I bet what will win is Mick slamming the cup down.
Well, I tried to fix the vote, so Mick quitting won the category, but it didn't. It came second, narrowly beaten by Chambers' late goal versus Norwich in February.
And that really was a moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, who's guessing now? Dave, you are. Ben might have given you a little hint. Best game of 2018. I'll give you a clue.
Game of 2018. Yeah, I mean, personally, because I was there, Reading.
Beep. I'm stuck in your car.
Yeah. No, had to be Reading away. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Reading away.
Got to be Reading away.
By a long way. And then I asked everybody for their top 3 predictions for 2019. And by the end of it, I wanted to sort of slip my wrists. But here are some of the popular predictions. Evans will sell the club.
Yeah.
Town will get relegated.
Likely.
Really putting your neck on the line there, guys.
And the other one, which I thought will go on an FA Cup run.
Okay. What constitutes a run?
Well, you've got to have at least 2 games in the
I'd
same.
say it's the fifth round. Yeah, I'd say
different rounds. Yeah, and the most unrealistic prediction I thought was that Amir Hughes will play for the first team in 2019.
Well, if you heard the press conference the other day, Lambert said, "Oh, Hughes might be all right for Rotherham." He just dropped that one in there. So.
It's almost as if he's not going to risk him in an under-23 game or in a 21 game or whatever, is he? Yeah, comes straight back in.
But yeah, 2018 though, stat Anus Horribilis, yeah.
It's down there with 1994, I'd say, Dave.
I'd say that probably, yeah, and probably way back when, which we've covered before. Not quite conceded 10 goals at Fulham on Boxing Day, but yeah, that 63-64 season. But it's a shocker, mate. It is, yeah. Really, but again,
Dave,
you go back to
doing that jiggly thing with your leg. Your camera's going.
Oh, possibly. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Going back to at least 1994. You know, you're talking about Premier League, though, aren't you? You know, not where we are now.
No.
So yeah, slight comparison, but not much. I'd wager.
Dave, we've got 2 games to do. We'll touch very, very briefly on Ipswich Borough, and then we'll do a lot more on Ipswich Millwall, because I think, like a lot of people, I took the day off for Borough. I was just like, I've been to way too many games.
It's still like, they get 400 or something. I saw someone posted saying pathetic away following 376 or whatever it was, but bloody magnificent really on the day.
When you've won 5 games all season or whatever it is, all calendar year. So off we go. He does kind of rest a few players. Gherkin. So Kenlock, we'll talk about Knudsen after this. So Kenlock comes in for obvious reason. Pennington, Chambers, Spence. Nolan still in after the mistake against QPR. Chalobah, Downs. Edwards comes back in. Jackson, Sears, fairly sensible stat?
I think so. I think, when you've got 2 games in 4 days, however many days it was, I don't know how many days. I don't even know what day. Is it Sunday today?
In Blue Monday land, it's Sunday, but it's actually Wednesday. When we were arranging the pod, Dave said, "Oh, shall we do it Wednesday night?" What is that? What is Wednesday? What number?
But the other thing, he's got to give all of these players a fair go. I think, particularly before the January transfer deadline, just to see what he's got. And I think the issues, like you said about Jonas going, meant that Kenlock had got a chance, and I just think he's got to give some of these players a run in the team 4 or 5 matches before they can really show what they can do. So I think, it was pretty sensible, but I wasn't surprised by the result.
Plus, I think we spoke about it on the pod, didn't we? That we almost saw Borough as a free game, didn't we?
Yeah,
Whatever, with a view to the Millwall.
The winnable game against Millwall. Yeah. Do you know what, Dave? I'll tell you what I am banning now. As always in transfer, I'm banning transfer window slammed shut. No one's allowed to say it. No one's allowed to say war chest either. I'm banning must win, and I'm banning winnable game. as
Yeah,
well.
okay.
There's
I
no
think
such
that's
thing as
fair
a
enough.
winnable. There's no
Not in our-
such thing
not in our
as a
world.
winnable game. Sting.
Not in
Can we-
our world.
Can we still refer to the FA Cup as the greatest cup competition in the world?
If you want, you'd be wrong, but you can if you want. So 2 goals in this one, fairly predictable. I think Richard said in the WhatsApp group, didn't he? It just Killjoy Richard said, "Oh, Borough will score 1 in the first half, 1 in the second, and keep a clean sheet." And Dave on the
Pissed on all our
37th.
chips.
I know he ruined Christmas, Richard, didn't he?
Oh, he did. Grinch. Rich.
Richard Grinchwood.
Yeah.
On 37 minutes, Dave, tell me about this penalty. Spence concedes a penalty.
It's another shit soft goal. It's good from down. He's very good down in what he does, and he pulls off wide right, squares up. He basically squares up Ken. Yeah, obviously it is Kenlock, isn't it? And he's another player. He's you think down in all left, but he's right foot. Great cross, great little hangs up the ball to the sort of like not quite to the back post, center of the penalty box really. And it's the same old. Spencer's really wrong side of Hugill. Yeah, and there is contact there, and you can see why. All right, Hugill's a big unit, but he goes down. There's contact there. The ref, who's that Jeremy Simpson, who's not afraid to give a pen or two, is he?
Jeremy.
He was right there on the Jezza. Right there on the spot, and yeah, gives it straight away. Really. There's contact there, no doubt about it.
Definite penalty, yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, seen him. Yeah, I think Curtis Davis was on the Quest show, I think, and he said, as a forward, you'd be looking, you'd hope to get that one as defender. It's a soft one.
Should we bring back the Blue Monday penalty scale? I can't remember what it was. It was
Used to get
outright conspiracy, seen him given, no, harsh, seen him given, lucky, stone wall, or you can have seen him given on both ends, can't you?
That was somewhere between seen him given and was a slightly harsh stat. You think it was Stonewall?
Seen him given.
There's contact
yeah,
there.
definitely.
He's got his arms on him. Yeah.
Seen him given into the second half. Borough on top. The shot count, the possession count, everything against Ipswich and Tavernier. Is that how we're pronouncing that?
Yeah. Again, first half again, it seemed that we were quite well in the game. Until we weren't really creating much. But I don't think Borough, and it's typical. It's happened a lot this season where the crowd. I was listening to it on the radio, and the crowd are beginning to get on the on Borough's back. They haven't, and I don't think they've won in the previous 4 games at home. So the crowd are getting on their back against bottom of the table. And, we just concede goals. It was never a good time to concede a goals. It was really bad times, when we're well in the game as well. And we're going to concede one. Yeah, it's no way back, really.
Right through Gherkin, that one start.
Oh,
yeah. Terrible by the keeper. And how many times has it been said this season, whether it's Bar or Gherkin?
All right, Mick.
Yeah, I was going to say. It's Tubby. It's Tubby. Yeah. And that was it. Game over.
And it's seems to go right through him. It's a weird goal.
Yeah, I mean,
no pace on it. He sort of scuffs it, doesn't he? There's no real pace on the ball when he.
It was very reminiscent, and just going off on a bit of a tangent that you'll like, Dave. It's very reminiscent of Birmingham 2, Ipswich Town 3 in the FA Cup third round, 1982.
Have you read my Two Little Ducks script?
No.
No, you mean
because it's not that game?
Oh right.
you mean Charlton 2, Ipswich 3, don't you?
No, Birmingham 2,
Ipswich 3.
Yeah, 82.
Birmingham 2, Ipswich 3 in the cup.
Yeah, FA Cup third round.
82, 83.
1982 it was, 81, 82.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, there's a shot in there.
I didn't pick that one for Two Little Ducks.
Latchford played in that game for Birmingham, and I think there's a shot not from him, but he has it and it goes straight through Cooper's hands. And I think Brian Moore says it's something embarrassing for Cooper. And I think getting back to that game against Borough, it was embarrassing for Gherkin.
It was.
You shouldn't be letting in goals like that.
No, you shouldn't. No.
So we've mentioned this, Dave. So Kenlock comes in the Borough game because, for all intents and purposes, Jonas Knudsen is basically leaving. So the timeline is that his contract has got till the end of the season to run. Yes or no? Is there an option?
I think it probably is on.
Yeah, I reckon there is, but I've no idea how this option will work.
Oh, they can just take it up. But I think I think there's a deadline. If they haven't done it by so and so, then
certain date.
the options.
Yeah, I think you can safely say I think he's played his last game. And given the so far limited activity in the transfer window, who we know has come in already. Then he's going, isn't he?
So Knudsen appears to have played his last game. Joined Ipswich in 2015. 141 league appearances, 4 goals, played in the World Cup for Denmark. He's become a little bit of a scapegoat for, I think there's been a certain amount of lashing out at the frustration of this season that's been directed mainly at our fullbacks. Stat, you go first. Can you give your summings up on Knudsen at Ipswich?
Well, when he first came, I remember we had the friendly against FC Utrecht or something like that. Yeah, and he looked really good. And I remember tweeting, stand aside Maurizio Tirico, but I might have a new cult hero here. Oh my goodness, I'm so embarrassed whenever I see that tweet again.
With a long throw, not.
Do you know the issue that I had with Jonas, and I said it the other day when Dave and I were on the Naked Footy show, is that he thinks he is better than he actually is, which for me is the issue. He's not bad. He's not bad. The other thing that came out was he was pretty vocal in his support of Mick, and I think quite a few fans took umbrage with that. His throw-ins are poor. I think we've scored 1 from one of his throw-ins since he's been here. But he's still made in total 150 appearances, played consistently under Mick, and then obviously with Lambert and Hurst previously. But again, for me, the issue is that Marcus Evans said before that he would learn from his mistakes. And one of the mistakes in the past has been letting players run down their contracts. And now here we are, bottom of the Championship with a World Cup defender seemingly going to go for a pittance. It's just absolutely crazy. But overall, as a player, I'd probably give him 5 out of 10 for his town career.
He's done okay. I mean, what frustrates me, I know he's a fullback first and foremost, but his final ball, Jesus Christ, his final ball is just dreadful, isn't it? And I think you could see, even the difference yesterday when Kenlock got in that position, he would always seem to, like, especially first half, we didn't get in that position. Second half, first half, he seemed to take the right option, decent balls in. His final ball was terrible. I liked him better at left when we played the 3 at the back. I think he had played some of his best football for us, left side of the back 3, to be fair. But I mean, if we can get some money for him now, I don't think it'll be much, but if we get some money for him, then fine. We invest it back in wages or whatever on a loan or whatever we do. Seemingly he's going to go back to Denmark. It looks like, doesn't it?
I think there's still I don't know if the agent's pushing the Borough story still, but Germany or.
I mean, Borough, he's not going to play in front of Friend, is he, for Christ's sake? Surely.
No, I think
solid pro. That's it. I think
he gets a bit of a hard time.
A solid pro, I'd say.
I think you can see his career in microcosm just in the games against Norwich. Wholehearted, up for it. Got those couple of goals, but then the one moment that will haunt the rest of our lives is at 1-0 up after Chambers has scored. He's up there. He's pushing up. He's got a 6-yard square ball to play for McGoldrick to tap in for a 2-0 win, and he can't make the pass. But I think much maligned, and probably, as Statman says, it's probably somewhere in between. It's probably not as good as he thinks he is, but not as bad as a lot of the fans.
You got to say, he's picked 140 games in that spell. He's a good solid. Didn't miss many games. Did he? Good solid pro, but perhaps a bit limited maybe.
The other thing I didn't like about him was that when Chambers was unfit and Town won, that he assumed the fist pump. I just didn't like that. I thought just leave it. We didn't need someone else to come in and do the fist pump. We didn't always have the fist pump by a captain every time that we won a game. So the captain's out injured.
Can we just bring Barry Cotter out to do it every time?
Yeah. Right. That's it. I'm off.
His role at the club.
Bring on Drinnen.
Guys, just quickly on this one. Callum Elder is coming in from Leicester, 23 years old, previously on loan at Mansfield, Peterborough, Brentford, Barnsley, Wigan. Just quickly, is he coming in to be backup for Kenlock, or is he coming in to be first team? Dave?
I think he'll come into play. I like Kenlock. I'm just not sure if he's quite fit, got the physical attributes yet. I don't know. I mean, we'll get on to yesterday in the second half. But yeah, you'd think he's not going to come as cover, is he? He's going to come to play, I would have thought.
Glory's technical problems. Dave froze, but we will come straight back in. And Callum Elder stat, is he coming into back Kenlock up or to play?
No, I agree with Dave. He's coming in. He's going to play ahead of Kenlock, I think. I think Kenlock's had a few chances, not that many, but I think I probably would rather go with a Premier League defender on loan than Miles Kenlock.
Interesting. So the big link today, Dave, before we've come on air, TWTD reporting that Hull City are willing to let go former Manchester United, I'll call him a trainee because I don't think he ever played for them, Will Keane, who I think is brother of Michael Keane, isn't he?
Twin, I think.
Yeah. Twin. Oh, interesting. He is 6'2" and 25 years old on the positive. On the negative,
you're going to say 25 stone.
No, that's anti-Newey-hoo, Dave.
He's got a 25-inch waist.
25-inch pythons, yeah.
He's like a wasp.
So,
go on,
Dave. Look, we're bottom of the league. We're not going to get the finished product. What do you think to this link?
Yeah, look, it's fine. I mean, he's not had much luck with injury. I think he moved for about $1 million to Hull from Man U. I think he was quite highly rated at Man U. One of these players that scored literally hundreds of goals for their A team and reserves. I mean, literally, but obviously didn't break through.
Jamie Curitin in the Avon insurance company.
Went to Hull in about 2 or 3 years, 3 or 4 seasons ago. Got another bad injury. I think he missed. I simply remember at Man U before he moved, he had a really bad injury, and I think he got another bad injury. Missed the whole season before last, maybe, or it went from half season to the following half season. So again, I think he's back fit now, and I think he made his first appearance of the season. I checked against Leeds when they won at Leeds at the weekend, so he's obviously back and fit. Look, he's 6'2". Yeah, would seemingly have all the attributes that we're looking for. That's the pool we're fishing in, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, start.
Yeah, I'd welcome him.
Same as Dave. I think he was very well thought of at Manchester United, but his career particularly had a lot of injuries at the early start the early start of his part of his career, and for me it'd be quite good to have him here. Like you say, he offers something a little bit different. If you look at the players that we've got, we haven't really got many tall players, and we can come in a bit later to talk about the forward that played for Millwall on whatever New Year's Day was. But yeah, and Tuesday. I just think it's a headline writer's dream. Will Keane finally be successful for Ipswich?
Will.
Yes, it's just a play on words, you see.
Question mark. Yeah. If you changed your name by deed poll, could you put a question mark at the end of it? So, it could be David Diamond?
Oh, quite like a question.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Renegade Statman.
Renegade Statman?
Yeah. Guess you could. I mean, Will I Am put dashes in his, didn't he?
I think they're full stops, aren't they?
I don't know, whatever they are.
I've got to admit, it was probably about 2 years into Will I Am's career that I actually looked at his name and thought, oh, his name's William.
Do you know the one that got me? Flo Rida.
Oh.
Florida. Just didn't get it. Didn't get it at all. Yeah.
Florence Ryder. Yeah.
Florian Ryder. Florin Radichoyu. That came up on the World Cup special, didn't it? Right, enough on new signings. I'm sure we'll do billions of minutes on that during the month of January. Let's go to the winnable, must-win, war chest, transfer window slammed shut, Mick McCarthy. Let's just get all the banned words out. Ipswich versus Millwall. There or thereabouts. I love it.
Right.
We're talking about the relegation zone, though, Dave, now, not the playoff zone. We were. Let's go through these teams. So the context here, Ipswich, obviously, in 24th at the start, but playing a Millwall team that had not won an away game, but had 2 consecutive clean sheets and wins at the Den over strugglers Reading and then Nottingham Forest. So they were looking for 3 wins on the trot. The Ipswich team: Gherkin, Spence, Chambers, Pennington, Kenlock, Chalobah. Chalobah and Downs pretty much side by side with Bishop in front. Lancaster off to the right. Sears off to the left. Harrison down the middle. Dave, young midfield.
Like the midfield, the young thrusting midfield, like that. Liked it.
Thrusting.
Yeah, really did. I was quite excited to see that, and for the opening passages of play, brilliant. Yeah, loved it.
Millwall 4-4-2 as ever, although not in the second half, which I'm sure we'll get to. Archer, Romeo, Murray Wallace at centre back, Cooper, bloody Cooper, Jesus. Meredith.
Rubbish as well. Rubbish. Yeah. Atrocious.
Ferguson down the right, Leonard, Tunnicliffe in centre midfield, Jed Wallace down the left, Tom Elliott up front. Tom Elliott at best is not well liked by the Millwall fans.
I was going to say divided opinion, but yeah.
And we'll talk about the numbers he puts up in this game at the end because he was rather influential. Aidan O'Brien up front, a midfielder. No Hutchison, the captain. No Gregory, the top scorer. Millwall have not won an away game all season. Statman, you must have been confident before this one.
I was a little bit confident before, but when I saw the lineup, I thought, well, actually, if we need to kickstart the season, and this is probably the best opportunity that we've got. I was incredibly pleased. In fact, with Town's team, the only possible surprise, and maybe a small surprise, was that he hadn't switched Gherkin for Bart again. I don't know whether that will carry on, but I think we probably will stick with Gherkin now. I think he'll carry on being our keeper for the rest of the season. But yeah, great opportunity against Millwall, and I think Dave's right. The young thrusting midfielders that we had were really exciting, and it was some great play.
Vibrant.
Vibrant. Yeah, and the crowd, really enjoyed it. Certainly over as Dave said, the opening passages of play were really positive, and I'll let you do your roll call of events. But I thought it was a great start to the game.
Just one word, yes or no answer, Stat. Cup game next week. Does Bart play that one? Yes or no?
No.
Dave?
Oh. No, I don't think so. No. It's a conundrum. It's a conundrum, that one, isn't it? Because Bart, I heard talking about it on the show. Gmate, I think, was talking about it on the Radio Suffolk show yesterday. But probably the highest earning player at the club now. Now he's signed his new contract. Not playing, sitting writing away on the bench there, and with a view to look what's going to happen next season. Let's not dress it up any other way. Are we looking to? Would we get a bid for him in the transfer window now? Arguably not, or certainly not what we could have got back in the summer.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think if you have £5 million during the summer, and now you have a keeper that realistically you'd be quite happy if someone said, "I'll take him off your hands on a free transfer." And I think is there rumours that he's on about 20 grand a week?
That's the rumour I heard. I think he's the best. Now McGoldrick left, and one or two of the others. I heard he's the best paid player at the player.
Well,
at the club.
That's £1 million we've got. We've got to find lots of £1 million.
Yeah, and if and when it happens, can we mention? Are we allowed to mention the R word? Can we mention the R word, Ben, or not? We're not allowed to mention.
What's the R word?
Relegation.
Ritalin.
Yeah, so if we say relegation, it's just we just couldn't afford to keep him in League One. I would say. So
I'm just gonna make a note to edit that out. I'm very sorry.
All right. Are you going to say?
I was going to say that was a very good one-word answer.
Oh, did you? Were you after a one-word answer? I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
No,
yeah.
Dave.
I said right. No.
You both said no. Yeah.
Yeah, I twittered, didn't I? Wittered on. Yeah.
Wittered. What, Dave, I'd like you to witter on about is a wonderful opening goal from Ipswich. And
Great goal. Lovely goal.
To take it away, Dave. 2 minutes in.
The ball was cleared. I can't remember who cleared it in the right back channel, I would suggest. And a ping of a ball from, I've got to say, look at this product placement. Ping of a ball from Kenlock on his right foot, actually. On his right foot. Not the greatest of touch from Sears, but clever from Sears because he sort of gets it out of his feet and gets facing the right way. He's absolutely cleared out, I think, by Cooper. I believe it's Cooper. And for once, probably the best decision the ref in a real shit display from the ref yesterday. All the officials really made a great advantage. Sears did really well, prodded the ball more than that, sort of 10, 20 yards square to Langus. And then Langus is what he's about, really, and he squares up. I think it was Meredith, I think the left back, gets the ball sort of right side of the penalty area on his left foot, squares him up. And I saw your review after the game, describe it perfectly. Used him as the screen. And yeah, great goal, isn't it? Left foot, curling shot, right in the far. I was right on the diagonal, right where I sit. You see that? Beautiful, beautiful goal. Great technique, great finish. And look, Lancaster, let's just hope it's the first of many in an Ipswich shirt, Brilliant, brilliant goal. Great start.
I think you nailed that, Dave. What we're going to go on to now, and I'll bracket them all as one, and you can talk about all of these in one go stat, is 3 great chances for Ipswich to go 2-0 up. So first of all, Harrison, brilliant bustling right in front of where you both sit as well, wins the header and then chases it on. Crosses it, ball goes loose. Sears kind of pounces on it, and Archer makes a point blank save. That was the first one.
I'd say that was a half chance. Yeah, Archer did quite well. He was out quickly, wasn't he?
Yeah. Half chance, yeah.
So Sears down the left, Kenlock on the overlap. Good cross by Kenlock. Harrison chests it down.
Mate, what a goal this would have been.
On the volley.
Great technique. God,
lovely touch.
Yeah.
Who cleared that? Was that an Ipswich head or a Millwall one?
Yeah, you'd have seen that stat.
No, that was.
I hope it didn't hit an Ipswich guy. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think
it didn't. No. I don't think it. I don't think it hit any head, did it? I keep thinking it came off a chest or something.
Yeah. What? Yeah, absolutely leathered it, didn't he?
Brilliant. Oh, that would have been a great goal.
Yeah. The third one, though, stat, and this would have been an even better one. Brilliant play. Lancaster to Bishop to Downs, cuts it back, and I'm normally Freddie Sears' biggest proponent, but he should score this. He's running onto it. He relaxes like we saw against Reading, but Tunnicliffe throws himself across. He's got to get a bit of air underneath that, hasn't he, Stat?
I said just before that goal, I said we're on top, so much on top here. And then when you saw the play, the build up play to that, I was and the ball came across to Sears, and I was ready to break out the Marco Tardelli celebration. I'm there thinking this is it, and he fluffed his lines. And at that point, I said, "This is the think back at this point. This is why we could lose this game. We should have been 2-0 up." And Freddie, I'm sorry, unforgivable. Should have
also stat and the general lift, scoring a goal like that after the move. If he scores that goal after the move, the general lift that they're giving it. There's the future right there. Lancaster. Downs, Bishop, brilliant, carved them open, one touch, tight, brilliant play. And almost when he misses his, a bit deflated really, but there's a sign, deflated. In that encapsulate, there's a sign of what could be. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's got to score.
So the feedback I've got on my match review video, because we picked up a lot of Millwall followers from last year, we covered them a lot, was that Millwall were appalling in the first half, and they were all incredibly upset with the performance. So,
yeah, I think that's taken a little bit away from us, but I'd say we petered out a bit towards the end of the half, didn't you? We didn't sustain that level. I think we had that level for a good 10, 15, 20
Dave,
minutes.
Other than the first half at Reading, that's the best I've seen us play.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that, but Millwall, a bit like Reading, I think Millwall were pretty dreadful.
Agreed.
First half.
So here
and the referee. Sorry, Ben. The referee didn't help. I knew I wasn't going to like the referee when I walked up round the main entrance to the club, and you could see the personalised plate where it was, and I think it was SM71 TIN or whatever, and I was like, oh, Steve Martin, and he ruined it. I just keep thinking, every time I listen to your show, and when we're talking about things, we're often talking about how poor the referee was, but I thought he was absolutely terrible.
It's not just the ref; it's the official, the fourth.
The guy in front of you.
Jesus! They never make a decision. They never make a decision.
Yeah.
Even an obvious one, they wait for it. Oh yeah, it's that way. It's so frustrating, so frustrating. And there's a guy who sits in front of us who has a head off every single week at the officials. It's quite funny, but yeah, terrible. Mind you think it's bad in this division.
Oh, dear. So let's talk about this switch that really changed the game. So I was trying to figure this out as Morrison trotted on, because we see him trotting on. He's a big, huge bloke with grey hair.
Sorry, Ben. Just one thing I would pick up on. Harris, as soon as that whistle blew, was out of the dugout, almost sprinting down. I think he had an absolute volley of abuse waiting for them. And he had it. Yeah.
So it's very clever, because the left back goes off, the left winger goes to play at left back. The two midfielders come 10 yards deeper, and it's a 4-2-3-1, but the whole thing is designed to put Morrison up against Kenlock. And look, we all like Kenlock, and Kenlock was put in an awkward situation.
He was bullied. He was bullied.
He was. But it's not a 4-2-3-1 like you'd see. We spoke about Derby or Forest play. This was literally designed to make it a bit narrower. And I mean, I don't know how this works, but I saw Lambert come out literally as the whistle was blowing, and I'm down there trying to figure out the formation, and I'm thinking, Paul, Morrison's on. Paul,
have you noticed?
You used to have him at Norwich, Paul. He's gone to the right. What are we going to do? And hindsight is a wonderful thing, but Dave and I spoke on the phone that maybe the only tactical thing you can do is go three at the back. So Chalobah would have to go into Pennington, then comes across.
Well, you had the other option, Ben, is that we've got a World Cup defender sitting on the bench at left back.
This is my point. Do you know what? And with hindsight, maybe after the first goal went in, because there was 10 minutes between the first and the second goal. Perhaps
I think this is political, though. This is a bit like me sitting at Milton Keynes in the pre-season friendly, staring at Waghorn on the bench the whole time, thinking, when's he going to come on? And it's like, Ben, he's not coming on. He's not.
And again, and exactly the same situation, perhaps with Knudsen, as we touched on already. That a deal's been done. He's going, and do you want to risk the deal?
Well, yeah, but Mick McCarthy's done it a few times. When he wanted to make a point, he only named 6 players on the bench list. Named 6 players. I'm not playing Jonas because he's off, and we all know. And I think the difficulty is, that Paul Lambert. Well, he knew what the cards were when he picked them up, what was dealt with him and stuff like that. And you've got to be quite careful. Cause I'm not critical of Paul Lambert, because he's got his hands tied. But I think he was tactically naive there for somebody who's 49 or 50 years old, compared to Neil Harris. He just
I agree. I think
seemed to let that go.
We should have reacted to that. We certainly should have reacted to that better.
With hindsight, I mean, just 2 things. One, in Lambert's defence, he wouldn't have expected us to fold in the same way, like a deck of cards. 2, he wouldn't have expected 3 of the back 4 to then make individual errors. And we must just say, and I think I speak for all of us, we're not having a go at Kenlock. He was stitched up there.
Ben, Morrison, you touched on it before, very clever, still a very, very clever. Chanel, he's the sort of player we could do with. Say him up alongside Harrison or something like that. My God, all that experience, all that know-how.
And
that's
Dave,
exactly what we haven't got.
Literally
exactly
no pace.
On in the ref.
No pace at all, but all in the head. Yeah.
Up there, mate. Up there. He looked quick. Do you know what? No pace, but because he's so clever, he looked quite quick. But he was a step ahead.
So that was the key moment, and I mean we kind of dissected what the cause was for what's about to happen, but it had been coming, and this is exactly what they planned for. It's a big boot forward by Cooper, and this isn't Kenlock though. Morrison's come right inside with
just
Pennington.
Quickly, how well does he jump and time that header? You look at that. He absolutely soars above Pennington, because the timing of the header is just.
But then Daven just glances it down, and what was Chambers doing here?
Wrong side.
Yeah, wrong side. Yeah.
And then a weird, because I mean, let's be honest. I always take the Alex Ferguson quote: "Trust your goalie, don't take the striker down." Especially when the striker's bloody Tom Elliott as well. There's an 8 out of 10 chance he's going to miss. But Chambers gets in a right mess. And okay, yes, the goal was coming, but mistake number 1, there's the penalty, and
I think it's right. If we were querying the Spence penalty at Borough, this one was a nailed-on one, wasn't it, Stat? This one,
Yeah.
I mean, manhandled him. I think the word is. I mean, Christ, he's a big unit as well, Elliot, isn't he?
Most of the people who sat around me just kind of, like you said,
There
they
was no
knew it was
protest.
coming.
Just shrugged.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Ever since the Freddie Sears miss, that was coming. That was coming.
Yeah,
that was the moment.
So Shane Ferguson,
good.
who's now playing left back, comes up, smacks the penalty in. Paul Lambert gets booked on 63. Now, Stat, you're good with stats. Has this ever happened at Portman Road? Has a manager? Did Lee Johnson get booked for
I think
elbow on?
Surely Keane must have been booked, wasn't he?
No, I mean the booking actually only came in this season, didn't it? I think.
I believe so.
So Lambert has been booked this season, but wasn't that?
He was booked for encroachment, wasn't he?
Yeah.
On the field of play, apparently.
See, it still takes me a while. I'm still thinking of Big Fat Joe and Willie Donachie in my mind, who's standing behind him. So Paul Lambert's assistant was not happy just before. With Steve Martin. In fact, I'm pretty certain he shouted out.
Was it the Chalobah? Was it the Morris?
No, Dave. It was Cooper and Murray Wallace continually manhandling Harrison up front.
That's right.
All hugging him and all around him.
I think that was the issue. And then you got the thing with Morrison and Chalobah.
I've got to say,
they played the rules well. They bullied us and waited for the ref to give something, and the ref never gave anything. They played it well.
Experienced championship players. That's what a lot of experience there.
We
clever
used to
play.
be good at shithousery, didn't we?
We did. I thought, under the other manager. I thought, do you know what? I thought Harrison handled himself really well against those two yesterday as well. Really.
Yeah. Especially first half he was excellent.
Yeah.
Moving on, Dazelle comes in for Bishop. I thought Bishop was good. Morrison with the late one on Chalobah on 65. But I don't even want to talk about this goal because it's like when you're bottom of the league and you think anything can't get more ridiculous.
Tell what's funny about that goal.
Worse.
It was as if Morrison had suddenly got hold of an invisible cloak. That's what.
Oh, don't. Well,
my God.
To begin with, it's another one of these decisions that we saw against Nsiala, whereby if you stand next to someone who makes a good tackle and then walk into the end of their tackle when they're not tackling you, you now get a foul under this endangering opponent business. So, but look, I always say on here, guys, forget it. Okay, free kick's gone. Now defend the free kick. That's a new phase of play. And I mean, we've all seen the videos. It seemed patently clear in the ground. I mean, I got it wrong on my video. I thought it was Chambers. So the free kick goes in flat. Pennington climbed it. Dave, do you want to take on?
Well, it's Pennington. No one's even. He's not even challenged by anyone.
He's got players around him, but
but no, it's an obvious one. And you're looking and you're thinking, oh, hang on, is he going to let that go? Is he going to let that go? And he's got so much time, and it's one of those, just, playing for time, waiting for the ball to go. Ball goes, ref goes corner. And but it's such an obvious one, isn't it?
But
absolutely obvious one.
Same as you. I looked at him and I thought, oh, he's been a bit casual. But then I looked and I thought, Millwall aren't really pressing him at all. He's got plenty of time. Just take a touch. And I thought at this point he's trying to waste a little bit of time and then play it up, to the halfway line or whatever. Yeah. And then it just rolled out. And I must admit, there were some words that came out at that point when that happened. I was just like everybody else, just massively surprised.
But
why did he not even if he thought it was a goal kick? He wasn't under any pressure. He probably would have put the ball in the same place as Gherkin would have done. And we like to play out to the back, to the left or right back. And he was in that position. Just get the ball and put it up the line. Because after the outrage of Freddie Sears missing, we've then got this stupid mistake. That's why we're getting relegated. Stupid mistakes.
And it's and also why we're getting relegated. Every single mistake like that, we are being well and truly shafted by.
Dave, there's another even.
Oh no, there's another.
Guys, just really quickly, is there? I know it's a mistake that leads directly to a goal. I know it's a dumbass, ridiculous, stupid mistake by Spence. Is there any part in your brains that says, look, we've all seen something and seen it wrong and just done the wrong thing? Or is it just a player with no confidence who, given the choice between letting the ball run out for a corner and actually playing it up the line, just doesn't want to play the ball up the line? Is there any if he genuinely thought a
I think he
Millwall
did.
player
I
who got
just
the
think
touch.
maybe he lost concentration. I don't know. Maybe he was unsighted. I don't know. I think perhaps he was. But surely someone, again, even in the heat of the battle, sort of thing, someone can see that. I mean, it almost happened in slow motion. Someone's got to say, no, take a touch. It's their ball. It's their, just take a touch, something like that. But I know the crowd. He's right in front of the Millwall crowd, and it's not as if you're playing, in front of no spectators at all. But surely someone's got to talk to him in that position. If he's not sure, I don't know. But then if in doubt, you get rid, don't you? If in doubt, you control it and whack it up the line, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. If he had any, to me, he didn't look like somebody who was under pressure. He looked virtually horizontal when he was going to get the ball. And I think most people, certainly the Town defenders probably thought he's got that. He's under no pressure at all. He'll just play it out from there. And
Incredible.
Should Chambers have given him a
shot.
shout?
And then go on,
I don't think
absolutely incredible.
Again, another microcosm of our season right there.
Well,
probably.
I don't know about you guys, but as soon as that corner goes out, I'm like, well, they'll definitely score from it.
Yeah.
This is Ipswich Town 2018-19.
But who takes a
I don't know what goes on here. I don't know whether they're arguing with Spence about the positioning, but Steve Morrison is stood on his own. I know Jake Cooper's the threat, and it's right. Who's marking Cooper?
Well, Jake Cooper's standing on Gergen, isn't he?
Okay, but they've just completely lost their heads here. Their concentration has gone, and Morrison is free for the whole corner.
And it's a poor corner as well. It's not a great corner. I think Ferguson takes it and he sort of swings it out, and it's a piss ball corner really. I don't know who gets it. Wallace, maybe one of the Wallaces gets a flick on. Then it goes to, I don't know, someone on the edge of the box. Morrison's still going, hello, hello.
He's doing it, Team America.
Hello.
Gary, give the signal, yeah?
Seriously. And it's a lovely ball to him. It's just laid square to him. He's like right side on the edge of the box. And you've got to say, he's puts his first time ball's lovely. Just a little
Did
floating.
Did he not take a touch?
I don't think he did.
It's a brilliant cross if he didn't take it. It's a good cross anyway. Yeah.
It's a floaty cross, isn't it? And it looks like when he hits it, it looks like, oh, that's gone too far. Yeah. Oh, no, he's picked Elliott out back post, nods it back, and Cooper's unmarked, 2-3 yards out, just gets by Chambers and nods it in. It's poor.
I thought Elliott did well by playing it back across and not actually having a go himself.
Yeah.
But as soon as the ball rolled out for a corner, that goal was coming.
Written, wasn't it? Yeah.
10 seconds.
And it just so smacked of the Bristol City, that end, the same score line, possibly the same player. We're not into, just yelling at one player, but they're very, very, very disappointed. And from that moment on, I think you think, well, it can't go any more wrong, but we make a attacking change here. So Caden Jackson comes in for Chalobah, which was quite brave, considering he'd been playing the holding midfield. It looks like they've gone 4-4-2, but Statman literally within a minute of the substitution, long ball into the channel, and you probably had a horrible view of this.
Well, Pennington is running. He's obviously got the defender, got the forward behind him, and Gherkin is not really doing a great deal to help, and they kind of get tangled with each other. And then he plays perhaps the slowest ever back pass ever.
Was it slower than John Nolan's pass to Naki Wells 2 games ago?
Yeah.
That was quite sprightly by comparison.
But it was slow, but still outwitted Dean Gherkin a little bit, whose reaction only seemed to happen when he thought the player was then going for it. He was beaten to the ball, and then I think the ball was played just inside the 6-yard box, and there was like a couple of little passes in the back of the net, and then Gherkin decided to roll around on the ground like he did actually look like he was crying, because he was right in front of me, and I'm thinking
I'd be crying too if I got a back pass like that. Go on.
Yeah.
The thing about that is that Pennington initially does really well because he's with Elliott.
He wins the battle.
He actually out-muscles Elliott. He really does well. And the ball's on his right foot, so just get it clear. Just get it clear. We push it, get it clear. Under hits it, and oh god, yeah. I mean, I tell you, he does quite well with O'Brien there. Really quite good thinking. O'Brien. There's a ball spinning out like for probably a corner, goal kick. I don't know. Ref would have probably given a corner, and he just keeps it alive. And then it gets worse because then, about 2 yards out, Elliott then proceeds to put it through Chambers' legs on the line. I mean, it was horrible.
What I liked about that goal is Spence is coming back, and then he sort of stops as play is happening. He's standing around the half by the penalty spot, And I'm thinking that I've paid to watch this. You're not watching. You should play. And then the ball kind of, when it comes back out for a little bit, he then decides to react as the ball goes in the back of the net. And I'm just thinking, well, 3-1. Everything has come at once.
He wasn't the only person in the ground that reacted when that ball hit the net, because most of the seats around me all emptied out then, and a lot of people
all emptied out.
What's the Bob Marley album, Dave? Exodus at that point, I think. But yeah, just terrible collapse.
Do you
it was
think,
one of those
Ben,
moments?
It was. Do you think in the whole course of the season that was the point where everybody thought, actually, we are getting relegated?
Quite probably, yeah. I think so. It felt like, I know we've said a few times, something changed or whatever, but yeah, I think for a lot of people, you know. Yeah. But then again, you know what it would be like? Rotherham next, take 3 points out of them, and then, you know, we're 7 behind Rotherham, knock some goal difference off them. You know what? You know what football fans are like until it's over. It's over.
Will Keane hat-trick.
There you go. Will Keane's on fire. Your defence is terrified. 81 minutes. Webster comes in for Tom Elliott. So Harris goes back to a 4-1. And what a goal this is, Dave. And I know we've all had a go at the ref. 2 goals in one game, both from advantage. Because Harrison he does really well. But what a finish this is.
He does really well, because the build-up, the split, sort of a couple of seconds before the goal, he cleverly sort of like chips it over to make himself the angle, sort of chips it over the defender's sort of trailing leg, and he just lashes it in. There's a great finish, yeah. That can only be good for the confidence. I mean, okay, I still didn't see Gherkin had comedy moments when Gherkin went up for the corners and stuff, but yeah, great finish, yeah.
I mean, what I liked about the finish was that it went to the left of the keeper. I think most people, when he lashed it with his right foot at that point, thought it was going to go to the...
Oh, you mean as you're looking? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Curved away, didn't it? It's a hell of a finish.
Hit the inside of the post and bounced across.
Good to see. He's got it in his locker, as they say.
Great goal, yeah.
Great goal. Horrible collapse. Let me just go through this team, and you must only say thumbs up or thumbs down, okay? And we'll go to Dave first on all of them. Okay, right, Dave, Gherkin. You got to say it for the podcast.
Thumbs down.
Is that?
Little thumbs up. I thought he did all right a couple of times in the game. Yeah.
Saved a one-on-one from Wallace we hadn't mentioned. Yeah. Dave, Spence, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Down.
You've got to say it for the podcast.
Down.
Thumbs down.
Chambers, Dave.
Down.
Is he going to give him a pass?
No.
Guys, I've got to get through 11 players here.
Right. It was a little down.
Pennington, Dave. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Down for that third goal.
Slightly up for the rest of the game.
Hang on.
Okay, Miles Kenlock.
He did well, actually.
Can I have a horizontal thumb?
You can, yeah. He got horizontal in the second half, yeah.
Chambers is horizontal. Yeah, Kenlock, I'll give him horizontal as well. I think he did well for Kate.
Can I say,
Phil Morrison.
Harry from Bath always talks about team balance. Wasn't it nice to have a player with a first touch on the left-hand side?
Yeah.
Chalobah, quickly, thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah, he was okay, yes, he thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Downs, thumbs up, thumbs down?
A very good first half, thumbs up.
Yeah, from both. Bishop, thumbs up, thumbs down?
Very good, I thought. Thumbs up. I won't go into it yet.
Lancaster, first goal?
3 thumbs up.
Is it thumbs up. Nice to see. Faded a bit, but come on. What do we expect? Sears, thumbs up, thumbs down?
Ooh, yesterday. Oh no, horizontal for me. That meant, I'm going with you.
We should have been 2-0 up in the game and been over.
Game over.
Yeah,
I want to
best goal for many a season.
It's raining thumbs.
Surely the biggest thumbs up for Harrison, yes?
Yeah, I thought he did really well. Right through the game, Ben. Right, even second half. Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's the one big bright spot from yesterday, I thought.
Okay, so horrible collapse.
Ollie had gone in.
Would have been beautiful, wouldn't it? Let's go to the questions, which I haven't got ready. So I'm going to try and keep talking whilst pressing the button, which I'm finding quite difficult and
You
not
are
saying
doing
much.
While you're doing that, can I plug something, Ben?
Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah. So, Dave, I don't know if you realise this,
Go on, mate.
but the next history pod
Is it our 50th?
well, there you go. It's our half century, so we can tip the bat.
It's our golden pod. Yeah, I thought that the other day. I meant to text you. So, are we going to dream up something special?
Yeah, I thought we'd do a special. Maybe I might see on Twitter whether people want to go for a decade or
European
a player special. Yeah. European.
Yeah, put it out there, Stat. Put it out there. And Julian and Ian will reply, and then we'll just go with whatever they want.
70.
Yeah.
But yes, the excellent this week in Ipswich Town in ITFC history. We'll be back when, Stat?
Oh. What day is it today? Probably it could be next week.
Could be next week.
Could be next week.
Yeah.
Let's get something out
we
there.
like to keep our audience, guessing.
Right, guys, you've got to be quite concise with these
Punchy.
answers. We'll try and get through as many as many questions as we can. Dave, will Bart be the first casualty of budget constraints in League One next season?
Yes.
Stat, that was Jay Cook. Benjamin Erie. Stat, is it too late to look at this transfer window as a last grasp for our chances of survival?
Yes.
Tim, these are all yes now. Dave, Tim Gornell, does yesterday's result now change how Evans views the transfer window?
Yes.
Just elaborate a little bit. You think?
Yeah, I think it should. A couple of things here. Firstly, who's he get? Okay, he's going to throw. Say he wants to throw, unlikely, £2 or £3 million at a player. Who's going to want to come and play for us? Seriously, in our situation, who's going to really want to come and play for us? And I think now he should be the time that, and getting the players like this Leicester fullback may be keen to a degree. If it comes off and fine, we start picking up points and getting close, then fine. I think we've got to really be looking at next season now.
Okay.
Can I just jump in here, Ben? I disagree with Dave a little bit because I don't think Evans was ever going to be. We were going to be given money for two to 3 million. I think what probably has changed is that we will look before. We'd have looked for targets that potentially could have kept us up, and now I think we might look for targets for League One.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
This is Tucker. 2 questions. Stat, have you all given up any last hope we had of staying up?
As Morrissey sang, I know it's over.
What team would you pick against Accrington? I don't think he means granular, but would you rest some players or would you?
I wouldn't pick Ipswich. No. Dave?
It's got to be the
I think he'll make. I'm sure he'll make some changes. Let's face it, Rotherham. I'm not going to say the must win. Is surely the last chance bloody saloon, isn't it? Got to be.
We were thrown out the last chance saloon about 3 weeks ago.
Thrown out the last chance saloon. So I think he'll want to win a cup game. If anything, if we can get anything from this season. When was the last time we won a cup game? Stat 9 seasons ago.
January the 2nd, 2010.
Oh, you have been looking at my little ducks.
8 seasons
9 years ago.
Look, if he gets anything this season, let's just win a cup game. Win a cup game. Get a home tie against someone who hopefully we can beat, and get the 5th round. If we get to the 5th round of the cup, it'll just give everyone a lift, won't it? And get a decent draw.
Get drawn at home to Norwich.
Oh my God! Come on.
Wow.
But yeah, I think there'll be some changes, but I think he hasn't got the play. I think it'll be a half decent side.
What about keeper wise? Is he going to do something completely random and stick Harry Wright?
No,
well, why not?
Well, Gergen might have picked up a nasty injury in that tackle yesterday. Who knows?
He was crying.
This is from Ian, but I think we might have covered this. Do you agree the transfer policy should be about being ready for next year? I think we covered this. Yeah. Dave, quick answer. Will Lambert walk if he's not supported by Evans?
Well, no, I don't. Not now, I don't think. But yeah, I couldn't see him
further down the line.
Yeah, on the end of the season. Yeah.
Stat, who would get player of the season so far?
Pennington.
Not a bad shout. I'm going to go back to Stat because he's addressed in this. In response to Stat's thread yesterday, what do you think the number one biggest error Marcus Evans made in his 10-year reign? Number one biggest error?
Buying the club.
But from the point afterwards, a decision made while he's the owner of the club.
I said,
he probably thinks
thread,
that as well.
Yeah, the first thing that I wrote down on that thread was that he appointed Simon Clegg and that wasn't the right appointment. And I think that's when it started to unravel. And Roy Keane says in his autobiography that he'll never accept the job again without meeting the chief exec. So we had a chief exec with no football experience. We had this young manager who'd been successful at Sunderland but failed in the Premier League, who was going to take us there again, that hadn't met this guy. And I think it all just went badly wrong. And I was only allowed to add 25 tweets to that thread, and I could add some more after, but I couldn't be bothered. But there are so many things. But for me, Simon Clegg.
Okay. Dave, this is Craig Fincham talking about the youngsters. If we go down, can we actually keep the youngsters?
Yeah, tough one that. I think we won't lose them all, but yeah, I mean, if we go down, we'll be looking to, you'd think, recoup some, obviously get some finances in. So I can see certainly one, if not two, a couple of them going. Yeah, I can.
Oh, I agree. Something like Rotherham getting £200,000 for Dazelle or whatever like that. I think that's.
Well, Dazelle's the one, isn't he? There's been some conjecture about Dazelle recently, and he's showing no real signs of breaking into the first team.
Dave,
yeah, I know it's a different.
This is what we've seen, and I don't want to go on an Evans rant. Time after time over Evans, he only sells the players that can play at a higher level than where Ipswich are at the moment, right? And if you continually do that, your level decreases as the players go away, and you go down and down and down. And,
I see him. If we get bids for, I see him certainly cashing in on one or two of them for sure. If we go,
Dave, I love Skews and I love Chambers. But nobody wanted to buy them in the summer, did they? They wanted Waghorn, they wanted McGoldrick.
They're going to want the better players. I mean, the one now, yesterday is going to be obviously, Lancaster.
Stat, this is Jack. Do you feel the ref ruined the game?
Yes, he was a dirty, rotten scoundrel.
A dirty, rotten scoundrel.
See what you've done there, Stat. See what you've done there. You should bugger off in an airplane, mate.
Ben's like.
Well confused. It's fun. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Yeah. Didn't I do an airplane one and you got really confused? I did. Don't Call Me Shirley, and you got really confused.
Yeah, I was confused by it.
Dave, do we need new wingers, or are Sears and Lancaster? That's not Lancaster, Dylan. The right players.
We need new wingers. Or Lancaster certainly fits the bill. Are we saying Sears as a winger? Are we? I don't know. I personally don't think Edwards is very much. I know he wasn't mentioned there. Was flattered to deceive for sure after really quite a bright start. However, League One may well be his level.
I'm going to stay with Dave because you've just done a bit on Evans stat. Listen to this. This is Richard Tatterton. Am I the only one that doesn't blame Evans? 99% of fans wanted a younger, hungry manager. We got that. We wanted young, hungry players. We got that. Yep. If Lambert had come in, a load of people would have moaned. It's like for like. It's just not worked out how we would have liked. Or can I just throw the caveat in there? Did he try and do it on the cheap?
I think there's a bit of both. Hey, he got it in. Yeah, he certainly tried to do it on the cheap. And we spoke about it before. Due diligence and things like that. Did he really do it properly? I don't know. Don't know.
Stat Arthur. Do we need to sign a new goalkeeper? I think other positions are more important, but both of ours are understandably lacking confidence. Rob Elliott from Newcastle would be a possibility. New goalkeeper.
We'll have a new keeper in League One. Bart and Gherkin won't be here.
I see Gherkin would still be here. No, you reckon? No.
He'll probably go to a bigger club like Colchester.
This is Andy, who actually I was in IKEA in Milton Keynes a couple of days after Christmas. Guy walks up to me and says, "Oh, listen to the podcast." I'm in Milton Keynes, remember? And this was Andy out of nowhere. So hi, Andy.
Question what did you buy in IKEA?
I didn't buy anything. I took the thing back that was the wrong thing that I bought for a Christmas present. So failure all round. I'll take the L on that one. Andy says, Dave, question about Chambers. Should we swap his passion, pride and leadership for more quality and youth? I love him, but is he part of the problem?
I think he probably is. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
only goes in his head.
Only goes so far, Stat, doesn't it? All that,
No, I agree. But if you look at our team, and we talk about, the team was an incredibly young side on
I'm not saying
New Year's Day.
His experience, but has he really performed? I'm not sure he has this season. I'm really not sure.
He's not had a great season, but then you can say that about the whole team. And let's not, I'm not coming into bat here for Chambers, but I think the important thing I would say is that he's got that experience that you kind of need in this relegation dogfight when you've got 6-pointers against Millwall and Rotherham, I'd keep him in there. And I read an article, Andy Warren had interviewed him today or yesterday, and he's clearly hurt, and he knows what's going on at the club, and it's not right. He's just part of a very poor side.
And I think you're right, and I think he's perhaps frustrated with his own performances. Really, hasn't been brilliant stat, but he's it'd be all right perhaps in hindsight. In a poor side, I think he's just generally frustrated, isn't he?
He should have gone to Forest maybe in the last transfer window.
Quick plug there, being you mentioned Andy Warren from the East Anglian. Andy will be with us on February the 16th for the Blue Monday live show at the Curve Bar. Tickets available, eventbrite.co.uk. They'd make an excellent No, wait a minute.
Valentine's.
We've done that one, haven't we? They'd make an excellent early Easter present, but we'd love to meet you all. All of the Blue Monday gang is going to be there. Like we said, Stuart and Andy will be there as well. Harry from Bath and Richard from the preview. Statman and Dave are going to do the This Week in ITFC history statement. Mikey will be there as well. The whole lot of us will be there. It's the first live event we've put on. We'd love to do more of these. Good fun event. We'll film it. We'll record it. Lots of audience participation, and lots of people have got tickets already. So avoid that last minute rush on February the 15th and get one now, Stat.
Ben, is it true? Yeah, definitely buy some tickets. Is it true that he was born in Ipswich, Ray Fiennes will be at the event? I've heard that there's a rumour he might be there, along with Andrew Lincoln. We mentioned him on the History Pod, didn't he? From The Walking Dead. He's hopefully going to be there as well.
I think President Trump, he hasn't RSVP'd.
Cardinal Wolsey, I think, is going to turn up. I think
the Cardinal.
I'll just tweet him. Yeah.
I think they
it's
are
going to be a great
there.
event.
Yeah.
And what I would say to the people is, come along to this event not knowing what's going to happen, because here we are on the 2nd of January and I don't know what's going to happen, Dave. You're going to do something. So
Come on. How many live events have I put on in my live stat? Don't you worry about a thing, said Stevie Wonder. I've done some bullet points. Yeah, there'll be little segments now.
Are we going to issue a laminate for each of us, Ben? I want a laminate.
No, there'll be no laminate, but there is going to be walk-on music and there is going to be projection as well.
Because if you give people laminates, they're going to start hitting them, and that'll make a little bit of a noise, which will irritate.
Hang on, are we each going to have a walk-on tune?
Yeah, don't discuss it because they're going to be a surprise. Yeah, okay. I always found laminates at gigs really annoying because people would wear them like big. Do you remember, Dave, when I got you that AAA for access all areas? I said for level 42, I said, look, you can have this, but you stick it on your shirt and you cover it up. You don't be one of those bellends walking around. Look, I can go backstage if I want. Yeah. No, so there will be no laminate stat. But buy a ticket, eventbrite.co.uk, February the 16th.
Laminate and on a lanyard.
Lanyard, an A4 lanyard, the entire size of your tummy. There you go. Julian has got no question. Still lost the plot after the Millwall game, so I'm sure he'll have a question for the.
Oh, he did. I saw that, Jules. Yeah, bless him, Jules.
Mill Valley Blue, whose boy was mascot yesterday. Great. Was Caden Jackson's goal in your top 10 Ipswich goals scored at Portman Road in the last 10 years?
I would say it was definitely the top 10 goals scored in the Paul Lambert era.
It's definitely in the top 10 goals not scored by either Bersant Salina or Tom Lawrence. If you take those two out, then
it was a great goal, but.
Yeah, it was up there. It was good. It was up there. Yeah, if you take their goals out, Salina and Lawrence, it's probably take
about 5 games of Joe Royal, and there's about 7 above that, though, isn't there? But he did say
there was a couple yesterday in the game against that you put out, or Rich put out in the game against Millwall. Jermaine Wright.
Jermaine Wright and
by our friend Tommy Miller, man. Oldie TT, buddy. Great goals.
Bag of tuna.
This is Daryl. Did Town need a new captain? Should one of our January targets take the armband from Chambers?
Said this, didn't we? We touched on this. No, I think Stat, if he's going to play, he's going to be skipper, isn't he?
Yeah, won't happen.
No.
Harry Butcher, how good was it to see Lancaster score, Stat?
Very good.
Dave.
First player to score, born this millennium to score for Town.
Lovely stuff. Luke Moles, on a scale of 0 to shit, just how shit are we? Are we Stockport 2000 shit, or are we Blackpool 2015 shit? P.S. They only had 8 players.
Well, Blackpool 2000, we're worse than Blackpool at this
No, we're
stage.
not,
We're worse
are
than
we?
Blackpool
Oh my
2015
God.
shit. Statistically, at this stage, we're worse. And how many points I should have looked at this. How many points did they actually end up with? But at this stage, we're worse off than they were.
24 or something like that. That seems a long way away.
Didn't Carl Oyston sell all their boots by the end of the season? Allegedly.
They were playing in trainers. Yeah.
Right, we owe some apologies because we're going to stop there and not read out the questions. Sorry, Mullet, Tim, Welsh, James, Mark, Monk, Simon, Neil, Simo, Simon, Tim, Taco Man, Ben, James, and Matt. Sorry, we're running long and we're going to stop there. But as I always say, every week, guys, we love having your questions in. It's one of the best parts of the show. And Dave and I used to pore over scripts and bullet points and subjects. We don't have to now because you lot come up with all the good ones. So
yeah.
Let's do the roundup nice and quickly. Leeds fall off, 2 defeats on the trot. They lose 4-2 at Forest, Dave.
Yeah. Cole back with a brace. Whether I'm sure he's never scored 2 in a game before. Not the most prolific. And Daryl Murphy, and a ridiculous assist from Daryl Murphy for a very good goal from Osborne, who I've always liked. Yeah.
Osborne 1-0.
What? Remarkable.
Stat: Brentford 1, Norwich 1. Norwich down to 10th in the form table. 1 win in 5 games. They go away to West Brom. They're at home to Birmingham. They go away to Leeds. Sheffield United in the next 4 games. They're
going to be out of the playoffs, mate. They're going to be out of it.
They'll probably win all 4 of them.
Sorry, Stack, go on.
I spoke to a Norwich fan today, and he went, "Terrible Christmas, for us." And I went, "Well, it's all relevant."
Yeah.
Said, but I've got a funny feeling they've been a bit too cocky. And they've scored lots of late goals, so it was really pleasing for Derby and to come back. I think on Boxing Day, I think they're going to slip out of the playoffs. I'm not sure whether they're going to get relegated with us, but
they'll do well to finish below.
I don't see them slip out of the playoffs, but they just
horrendous run.
See too many goals. Surely you get up automatically. They can't continue to ship goals at that rate. Teams just don't.
Is Daniel Farke the German Joe Royle?
Wow, that's the place, isn't it? What a place! The last few games, Carrow Road, my God.
Wigan 0, Sheffield United 3. The Blades win 3 in a row to take 7 points out of Norwich. Dave, we were saying a few weeks ago, they need to spend. They're going to drop out of the playoffs. Up they go to 3rd.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. See, Billy Sharp yesterday became the highest English goal scorer this century.
Wow.
220 goals, edged out Ricky Lambert by a goal.
Ricky Lambert celebrate.
Right.
Blackburn 2, West Brom 1. When we all wanted West Brom to overtake Norwich, they stuffed it up, but they've got the chance next week. I'm still worried about the West Brom manager. I'm still worried whether he's got enough to take them up.
Well, on that note, he lost Gale, and apparently I read tonight that Leicester could be on the verge of recalling Harvey Barnes.
I read the same. Jake Livermore suspended as well for
second of the season. That for 4 games. Yeah, you're going to do it properly. Get sent off twice in a season.
Yeah,
get a break. Go skiing or something probably, isn't he?
I still fancy them to finish top 2.
Yeah, they should.
Sheer weight of goal goo.
Yes,
they should. Dave, how much do goals weigh?
We've done this before. Did we actually get a concise measurement on it? Did we not get our bloody? Who used to listen to us? Bloody nuclear physicist or something from the college? What was he?
Economist.
I don't know, economist or something. I think did he not come up with a formula for the actual weight of a goal?
Weight of goals. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah. Dave, Derby 1, Borough 1, both a bit inconsistent, but 5th and 6th still.
Yeah, I can see them hanging around the playoffs. I think, surely Derby's win at Norwich must have given them a hell of a lift. It's always going to be difficult at home to Borough, but yeah, I see them both being there or thereabouts.
Do you know what I did when I didn't go to Borough Stat? I started doing a jigsaw that I got for Christmas, and I put Jeff Stelling on, and there was a point, about a 5-minute period, where Ipswich went behind, West Brom went behind, and then Norwich took the lead. And I thought, I hate football. I absolutely hate football.
Had you half completed your jigsaw, did you throw it up in the air like that? Tell me you did.
I wanted to.
Was it 4-piece jigsaw?
1,000-piece jigsaw.
Oh, get you 1,000.
What of, Ben?
Some Disney characters. A scene of Disney characters. Yeah.
Pocahontas.
Yeah, in there.
Therapeutic.
Any single one, all in there. Wednesday 1, Birmingham 1. I didn't miss one out there, did I? Steve Bruce coming on February the 1st. Stat. He's going to have another month off. to Sheffield Wednesday?
Well, I'm surprised that he's still. I've never liked him.
Villa 2.
Hey, yeah, that's
onward,
it.
onward. Villa 2, QPR 2. Villa drawing too many games, Dave. I keep backing Villa for top 6, but not enough wins.
I heard something else this evening that
Abraham to Wolves.
Wolves 18 million apparently. 18 million. So 16 goals. That's
I can do my Hulk Hogan stuff though if Scott Hogan starts playing up front for him again.
True.
I'm sure all the listeners have missed that terribly, haven't they?
I'm sure they have. Also, what was I going to say? Grealish is still out, isn't he? Grealish is out for another month apparently.
Oh really?
Big miss, and Abraham goes as well. They've dropped off the pace anyway, but that's going to huge knock in their playoff credentials, I'd say.
Yeah.
Nice. Stoke 0, Bristol City 2. This Lee Johnson streak, Statman, has gone on for 8 games, but Stoke woefully underperforming.
Yeah. I can't figure Stoke out because at the start of the season, I think when they got Gary Rowett, if you'd have said to me who do I think is really nailed on for promotion, I'd have put my money on them.
I think,
mind you, they beat us, which is not hard, but I think like you said, Bristol City on a bit of a roll now. How long ago was it when they were?
That was the first game of the roll against us.
All right, well, there you go.
As always.
To be honest with you, I'm kind of desperately looking at the table, thinking where and I couldn't see. Oh, there they are. So they're not on so much of a roll, but they got
24 points ahead of us, probably.
Wow.
Do you realise that if we win 13 of our last 20 games, that we will stay up?
Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do.
That'll do.
Reading 1,
yeah.
Reading 1, Swansea 4. Probably a good result for us, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, Reading are poor, aren't they?
Yeah.
Swansea are a bit in and out, aren't they? Funny old side. I thought that Potter would be under sort of a bit of pressure, but no, good win for them yesterday. Sorry?
Wouldn't like to think you were up to something. I'm just doing Harry Potter stuff.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No.
I tried to do it for the preview show, but they're highbrow, Harry and Rich, aren't they? They didn't want the Harry Potter stuff.
They wouldn't want it. Yeah, I saw you gate crash their preview show. Yeah.
What are you going to do? I tell you what, never mind Incredible Hulk. What about the Incredible Hull, Statman? They are the best team in the league by a mile. 6-0 they beat Bolton. Elphink's gone back to Villa. Doesn't matter, although Spurs, Dave, might be up for Bowen for 20 million. 6-0, they're quite a way off the playoffs stat. But where the hell have Hull come from?
I mean, I think it's fair to say that Hull are on a bit of a roll. Where are they in the league now?
They are 13th, 7 points off the playoffs.
See, I don't look above 21st at all now.
No.
It's just a small little group. It's kind of like a World Cup Group A, just 4 teams in it. But no, unbelievable.
Since they got the 0-0, since they drew 0-0 at home to Norwich, they played 7, won 6, drawn 1, scored 20, and conceded 7.
Dave, last 12 games, Dave, 2.25 points per game.
They're on a
over 12 games.
They're on a rule, is what they are. A rule.
Let's talk about bloody Rotherham, the team that we didn't think would be our biggest rivals at the start of the season, but frankly, they're way ahead of us. And can everybody just stop saying 10 points? Have you seen our goal difference? It's 11 points. Come on, minus 25, worst in the league by a mile. Big win for Rotherham. They beat Preston 2-1. Dave, Rotherham seem to be able to... Well, but they seem when the chips are down, they seem to be able to do something when they drop into that bottom 3. They seem to be able to do something about it and not shit their pants, frankly.
No, frankly. No, they don't. No, worryingly, they pick up points at home. Well, they beat us, obviously. I mean, look, how do you see it? I mean, I see Rotherham. I see it almost as a little league of 4 now with us. It's getting that way, isn't it? Rotherham, Bolton, Reading, Millwall are gone now. Wigan, perhaps, but again, they're on 26 points, something like that. Do you see anyone else now? I don't.
No.
We spoke about Brentford being on a slide. Brentford are going to pick up points because they've got a goal scorer.
I mean, Wigan are totally hopeless now.
Yeah, Wigan are hopeless.
They're not winning. I see home games anymore.
Wigan, Bolton, Reading.
But do we even belong in that league until we win a couple more games? Do you know what I mean?
Probably not with where we are.
We need 3 teams to have an horrendous end to the season, and for us to win 13 out of 20.
Because I think that's the truth of it all, isn't it? Is that it doesn't really matter about 23rd and 22nd. does it? Because
No.
you still get relegated if you finish 23rd.
You're looking at
or
21st.
You're looking at
forget about it.
21st, and
Forget
how
7th,
bad
fine.
a 21st, and even if all the other teams zoom off into distance, as long as 21st are within a couple of games, then we'll still be in it at Easter, won't we? But
Yeah.
once it's 12, say it's 12 points.
Well, look.
Then that's 4 games from the end of the season. That's going to be most of April.
With the unthinkable, we lose at home to Rotherham.
But Dave, it's not. This is the thing. It's not unthinkable. It's not unthinkable.
We said that before yesterday.
We've drawn 0-0 at home to Bolton in the must-win game against 10 men. We've been, and I think the thing is as well. Sorry, quick rant is that just the hope. The first half against Preston and then you tail off. Brilliant start against Reading, tail off. Bristol City in the lead twice, tail off. Millwall, you're absolutely battering them, tail off. Off you go. Oh dear, I'm going to the extrapolation, guys.
Hey ho. We haven't done that for ages.
Ipswich, bottom of the league, 10 points adrift of safety with an inferior goal difference. But the next game is against 21st at home. The game you want, the one game you want where you can affect it yourself. 20 games remain in Statman. Ipswich need 31 points even to get to 46 and a decent chance of safety, which is 1.55 points per game. You will remember when Ipswich finished 7th in the league on 69 points, that was 1.5 points per game. So you're looking at the form of the 7th place team in the league for the rest of the season to even get 46 points, which, if 21st does well, may or may not be enough. Therefore, they need to win 1 in every 2 games, and at the moment they are winning 1 in every 13 games. I'm just giving you the stats. Stat gets accused of this the whole time. You've got a confirmation bias. I'm just reading the bloody stats out.
We're done.
And here's an interesting one. Top minutes, Chambers, Knudsen, Chalobah, Pennington. Once Knudsen goes, 2 of the top 3 minute makers are going to be loan players. Top goals, Sears 5, Edwards and Jackson on 4, Chalobah 2. Top assists, Sears 4. Hey, there's a silver lining. Freddie Sears got an assist yesterday. He's up to 4 assists. Pablo Hernandez has probably done that in his last 2 sleeps, hasn't he? Dear me. No offence to Freddie. Hernandez is really good. Hernandez or Grealish, Dave?
Hernandez is fit, isn't he? Yeah, I think so.
Hernandez, without a doubt.
A bit more impact. Got a goal in him as well.
Let's do 2 little ducks. Did you see Hernandez chip in for the second Leeds goal as well? He's so my favourite player in the league at the moment. Love him. 2 little ducks. You ready for this, guys? No complaining.
I always forget about this.
Easy, come on.
One thing I'll say about Richard when he's on, he never complains about this, but he loves it. He's done research. He's like got 4 different games mapped out that I might likely pick.
I was going to say, how can he do research?
He guesses.
Who does this? Rich?
Ipswich, yeah, he guesses.
He's got a pencil or anything.
Yes. So hang on, who did we play yesterday?
Oh, stop it.
I know it's going to be a cup 3rd round game, isn't it?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Hopefully it'll be Birmingham. Oh no, yeah, it's not Birmingham 2. It's
Ipswich. It's Blackpool against Ipswich, 2000 and whenever it was. When was that?
Can I read my script, please, guys?
Oh, go on.
Oh, let's do that one. I know a few.
It's the FA Cup next week.
Yes.
In 2008, Portsmouth won the FA Cup.
Oh.
But on the way to that win, they defeated Ipswich Town 1-0 at Portman Road on Saturday, the 5th of January, 2008. They won 1-0. There was a very, very predictable goal scorer. There was a rather idiotic Mark Halsey red card. You got Harry Redknapp as manager. This is the Portsmouth FA Cup winning team that some would argue led them to go bust in the end. For Ipswich, I'll give you a couple of clues. There are 2 Wembley survivors. And I'll give you a few more clues.
Not 1978, Dave.
That's good. John Walk. Jesus.
Okay. And the rules are, guys, and I'm enforcing these. You get 1 gimme. You get 1 golden goose.
Bad.
A used sub. Well, come on. Smarten us up, Dave. Who's the manager? 2007, 2008.
For whom?
For Ipswich.
Oh, that's that would be one James Magilton, wouldn't it?
James Magilton is the manager. And is this not the year where we win lots of home games, or is that next year?
I think it's this year, and we don't break our duck till Scunthorpe away, I believe, in like March or something like that.
Lovely stuff. Who did I see playing in goal for Southampton? Move on. Who wants to go first?
David James.
David James played an absolute blinder, didn't he? He played a wonderful game. That's one. Remember, you can kind of discuss your ideas with me before you
Right,
start.
I'm going to go with the easy one.
Go on.
Liam Trotter.
Liam Trotter was red carded after 22 minutes.
I will
by
go
Mark
for.
Halsey.
I'll go for the Nuge.
The Nuge was a used substitute.
Did you not score the goal?
He scored the goal. Dave, when you're subbed on, you can still score. Oh, he looks he's raging stat. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
Carry
Can someone
on.
tell Andre Dizelle that?
Stop. Carry on. Stop it.
Come on, who does
I
Harry
like-
Redknapp always have in his teams?
Yeah, I got it. I'm there.
Have we got to do it in order?
No.
No,
God.
okay. So
Stat's making out he hasn't been on the show for a while now. He's forgotten.
He's also
Yeah,
looking at his screen quite intently. I saw his fingers moving. I don't think he's been
Oh,
googling, hasn't he?
no. Bloody hell.
He's
I'm not
Googling.
cheating.
No, he's
I'm,
not.
I'm trying to think who the keeper is
For whom?
for us.
Oh,
He,
do you know
he
what?
appeared in a UEFA Cup final in his career.
Oh, did he? For us?
No. No, Dave.
Everything comes back to yes, Paul Cooper.
No. Our goalkeeper. I know I've got David
Yeah.
James. Yeah, our keeper. Okay.
Which British team might have got to a UEFA Cup final in Manchester?
Oh, Richard Wright.
Oh my God.
No. Was it
Sorry?
Martin? Is it Martin Fuller?
Neil
Alexander.
Neil
Neil
Alexander.
Alexander. Did he not go to Glasgow Rangers after that?
He did.
Dead to me after he left Ipswich.
Oh, he's dead to you.
Yeah.
Right. Come on. Let's get some of
Right,
these.
come on.
Sol Campbell got the assist. I remember that.
Sol Campbell got the assist, did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Ping one through. 4.
Yeah.
Dave, I want to say. What
Go
if
on,
I
mate.
say it, Dave? Can I say it? Can I say the name to Dave?
You want to say it? Go on.
Kanu.
I think that would be a good name to say, Stat.
I'll go with Kanu.
And
Yeah,
Wank
right.
Woo Kanu.
This
yeah.
might be a.
He was only 39 in 2000.
This might be a goose that is golden. Just think of Harry. Nico Crancher.
Nico Crancher, get in there. By the way, there's an Ipswich legend playing for Portsmouth.
You're going to say Paul Mariner, aren't you?
Yeah, obviously.
Ipswich legend player for. Oh, I hate these things.
Playing for
So what-
Pompey.
Ipswich legend.
Can I guess someone else?
Yes.
Of course you can.
Can I go with Richard?
Naylor.
Yeah.
Used substitute. Came on for a Spaniard.
Can I say Cito Castro?
Cito Castro. Lovely stuff.
Let's work the team out. So we've got Alexander in goal. Who have we
Yeah.
named then from?
You've named Cito.
Can I
Yeah.
say Garrett? Oh no.
That's not a
Do I
bad
want-
idea.
Yeah, Gareth.
Do you want to say Gareth McCauley?
No. Say another Gareth.
Gareth.
Will.
Peter Whittingham.
Gareth Williams.
Williams.
Oh yeah, the little again bit injury prone little midfielder. I like
Well
him. Gareth
done.
Williams.
got
Little
that.
Welsh
Heard of him.
midfielder.
Have you got? You said one of the Wembley players. Come on, other Wembley stat. You always put out these stats of most appearances for Ipswich
This is
this
what
millennium. Come on.
Fa-
Fa-
2000
fa-
it is
Fabian
Fa-
Wilderness.
Fabian,
Fabian Wilness.
Yeah.
Very good. Right, I've given you far too many clues now. You got 9. This is impressive.
Why, aye, Dave?
No,
Well,
bad idea. No, it's a bad
No,
idea.
no, he wouldn't have played. No.
Come on, Dave. One of your favourite number 10 type forwards. Come on.
For God's sake.
Another Spaniard.
2008. Oh, Pablo.
Pablo, 10. Right, I'm giving you no more help now.
No.
Right.
Uh,
So we've got one more person. So no, we've done the Wembley.
Yeah, the Wembley
So-
guys
sorry,
were
Owen-
Wilness and Naylor.
Owen.
Oh, yes.
Garvin.
Owen Garvin, good. That's 11.
that's a good shout, there. That's a good shout. So who'd have
I'm,
played?
I'm trying to think. Hang on, I'm trying to think of the players that Roy Keane got rid of. In
Can
the,
I
the
just-
final
can I
eight.
throw-
So
can I
you
throw
got, what,
in-
Shumi? Was he a bit too early? Valice?
Leach, Tumula, Cost a bit too early. Golden Goose, Jamie Peters.
Jamie Peters, you sub.
Okay. So who'd have been centre half? 2008, 2000. This is 2007, 2008.
We mentioned his father earlier in the podcast.
What? We mentioned his father.
Jamie Redknapp weren't playing for Portsmouth. No.
No.
Who's about to manage Sheffield Wednesday, you pair of buffoons?
Oh, Alex Bruce.
Alex
Oh,
Bruce.
God.
I think you've got most of
I've-
the Ipswich team now.
What position haven't we got?
You haven't got a forward and you haven't got a winger.
Well, it sounds like us now, but
2007-8 forward. Alan Lee?
No, you've got one guess left and then you're out.
Right.
Alan Lee was a good guess.
Yeah.
Not bad shout, I didn't think.
I mean,
Yeah.
in the definition of a good guess, a good guess would have been one that was on there, but.
Gary Roberts.
And you
Winger.
are out.
So,
Right.
From Sean Davis, Portsmouth? Davis?
Let me go through all of them. So,
And so there's an Ipswich legend playing for Portsmouth.
yeah. So, Alexander, Wright, Bruce,
David
Cito,
Wright.
Naylor, yeah, David Wright, Williams, Danny Haynes you didn't get, Trotter, Garvin, Kenyago, Billy Clark. He could have been here all day.
Wowzers.
Billy Clark with an E.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
the very same.
David James, Herman Haridason,
Oh,
Glenn Johnson.
Hermanus.
There's some classic Redknapp names in there. Sylvan Distan, Sol Cambo, Nico Crankia, someone called Muvwemba, who I've never heard of, Pedro Mendes, Papa Bouba Diop, John Utaka, and Kanu. I tell you what, it's lucky that African Nations Cup was probably off that year because half his team would have been off to the African Nations.
That's a great side. Pedro Mendes is the one. He scored those goals, those fucking thunder bastards that kept them up, didn't he?
Didn't he score from the halfway line at Old Trafford, but the linesman was too far back and it went over the line?
That was the same man, yeah. And Papa Diop is a bloody wardrobe, isn't he? It's the wardrobe.
The wardrobe.
Oh man, that's a side, yeah. Beat Cardiff. No,
Cardiff in the final.
Cardiff was 1-0.
It was.
Indeed.
Yeah. Canu scored. Yeah.
He did.
So on to Accrington next week. Rich and Harry will do this in detail. I think the boys have already mentioned expectation stat for this one.
Low.
Yeah, I think it will be the same as January 1995 when Town lost to Wrexham. I think it will be our Wrexham moment. That was a horrible game.
Dave.
Yeah. Are you going, Ben?
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there to tick off another ground off my
Joe's
ground
going,
hopper.
I think. One or two guys are
Yeah.
going. Rich going. A few people are going.
Are you going, Dave?
I'm not, mate, no.
No, I'm off to the Winter Wonderland.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Hyde Park. Very nice, mate.
Yeah.
Nice. I see. Look, let's hope we put our good side. I think we put our recent side. Let's get a bloody win, for Christ's sake. Get in that draw. Come on. Get replay. Let's have a replay.
Replay.
Yeah.
No, I think we'll lose.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I do really.
Oh no.
I'm not. I just think we'll lose. I just think that the team are so low at the moment. I think Accrington will think brilliant. Look, they've come along. They haven't won a cup game in 9 years.
I think there's a sniff of Football Focus, or did I read somewhere Football Focus is coming from Accrington? So there's a sniff of an upset. Will it be a great upset?
Yeah, but where are Accrington in the ladder? How high are they up their league?
Halfway up League One.
Yeah.
That's not an upset. I'm sorry. If you're
No,
within
not
10 places of the team you're playing, that's like Ipswich beating Swansea earlier in the season.
Yeah, but you know what'll happen. You know what'll happen. They'll show footage of the 1978 Cup final win or something like that. You know it's all going to turn out, don't you?
Sullied. Didn't they use all that up for the Lincoln game anyway? But there you go. Statman, plug your Twitter and This Week in ITFC History, please, sir.
Yeah, so at ChompX3 and This Week in ITFC History, which should be a weekly show, but Dave and I, well, things get in the way of it, don't they, Dave?
Conspired against
they have. But we're looking
work, travel, everything.
Yeah, 2019. We're looking to get right back on track. So I'm going to ping Dave some information over, pick a few games. Well, actually, no, I'm going to speak to the people of Twitter and say, what do you want to see? Is it a decade? Is it a player?
Special?
Is it a manager?
Go for it. Yeah.
Could it just be, some people might just be interested in matches that we've played against Scottish teams. So we can bring back St Johnstone in the Texaco Cup. Yeah.
I was at that game, won 4-2.
Do you realise that a guy actually punched the goalkeeper
Oh, I know all about this. We asked Noel Baker all about this, don't we? There we go.
We did that, didn't we? Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Dave, where can we find you on Twitter?
At Dave Diamond 3.
At David Diamond 3. Thank you everyone for watching and listening, etc. If you're new to the podcast, do check out This Week in ITFC History when it does drop. Great show charting all the games from that. Well, not all the games, just the best ones, really. Any kind of 0-0 draws tend to get missed out, don't they? But
funny enough.
Follow us on Twitter at Blue Monday ITFC. Loads of content, and we'll all be at Accrington because it's not even Sunday, it's already Wednesday. So before we know it, we'll be at Accrington. Say goodbye, Stat.
Goodbye. Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Say goodbye, Dave.
Happy New Year, everybody. See you soon.
Even better, back to Stewart. Oh, he turns the defender sweetly. Round the goalkeeper and scores a magnificent goal at the top end.